Welcome back to the RV Shenanigans Podcast, brought to you by Liquified. We are incredibly excited you're here, and the response to the podcast has been overwhelmingly positive, so thank you so much for those kind words. Do us a favor, if you are enjoying the podcast, we would love it for you to share with somebody. We are trying to grow the audio side of this as well, so while the YouTube side's great, we really want to push the Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audible, all those versions of it as well. Another big help if you are to get in and help us out would be to rate and review the show. Do us a favor, not only leave us a rating, but leave us a little note. We're going to start reading some of those reviews here on the podcast. So if you want to get on the podcast, that's a great way to do it. Now, this show is actually our last. It's not the last show we recorded at the 2024 Florida RV Supershow, but it is the last show that we're going to bring out there because we wanted to make sure there were no significant changes over the few months while we came out. And there really haven't been, except for the fact that our guests are much closer to finishing their new RV and being in it full time, if not already by the time this comes out. So without any further ado, I'm going to quit talking on here and I'm going to dive into the interview. So let's take a quick break and we will join you on the other side from the Florida RV Supershow. What's the worst part about RVing? It's the black tank. No one likes to have to deal with a stinky or messy black tank. Let the team over at Liquified RV Black Tank Management help you out. Created from the team over at Matt's RV Reviews, this is a 100% biodegradable product made right here in the good old US of A. Liquified will help break down your black tank waste as well as help with those odors. In addition to helping with those odors, it's got an actually really great orange smell to it. So not only does it help break down those odors, it also helps freshen the bathroom. One of my favorite features is actually this easy measure pour spout. Because it's designed this way, you don't have to bring in other cups or measuring devices of any kind. Dump what you need in for your size tank, put the cap back on, and you're done. To learn more about Liquified RV Black Tank Treatment, you can visit liquifiedarv.com. Do us a favor, please support the brands that support us because they enable us to be able to bring you the podcast and the regular videos. To purchase Liquified Black Tank Treatment, please see the link down below. We are coming to you still live from the 2024 Florida RV Supershow, and we want to say a big thank you to Alliance RV for letting us come hang out and do live podcast all week from their booth. And we're going to switch it up on this show. You like how I did that?
Dun, dun, dun.
You rolled your eyes pretty aggressively on that one. So.
You've never gotten that, have you?
No.
Never.
You had to know it was coming, though, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So you planned the roll of the eyes?
No.
Okay. We'd like to welcome Todd and Sheila from Switch It Up, and I'm going to say RV Revolution as well now because I saw it on the shirt, so I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
How are you guys?
We're great, actually. This is the first time we've got to sit down for 4 days.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I just shove a microphone in your face, and that's how we do that.
These
Not
chairs are
awkward
pretty
at all.
comfy.
Are they?
I think you're tired.
Huh?
How's the show been going for you guys?
Great.
It is just so fun to just meet and see so many people. That's what I absolutely love about it.
Yeah, it's fun. So if you don't mind, I kind of want to jump back in time a little bit. But what got you guys into RVing initially?
So in 2019, both Todd and I lost a parent, and my dad had a fifth wheel that he had in his barn for waiting for someday when he was going to retire and take that out. And once he passed away, never getting to realize that dream, and then COVID kind of hit, and we decided to take it out to the lake and go hang out, and we just kind of started to get an idea that this might be something that would be absolutely kind of fun to go do and kind of live what he was going to want to see and do in his honor.
Very cool. We're having technical difficulties over there, and
Y'all
Jason's
can keep
helping.
going.
And if I remember correctly, you actually have a tattoo kind of commemorating some of that, right?
I do. It was that first year we went out to RV. We really thought we were only going to do this for about a year, and it was just like a really good healing journey for us. And I got my very first tattoo where it just is about, hey, just trust, and it says "Love Dad" on it. So it's just kind of like my way of saying we went out to experience this in his honor, and it's been quite the journey, and it's been 3 years now instead of just 1.
Yeah, that's awesome. So at what point during the getting ready to thinking about doing, did the YouTube channel become a thing?
Well, what most people don't know is I was one of the original people doing YouTube. And I say that right when YouTube started, within probably 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
And most people don't know that just our personal family channel, which was just my name, I've probably done almost 1,000 videos.
Oh, wow.
And most of those videos were probably 25 to 100 views. And so it was always something we did was to share. And I just enjoyed the part of it. And it wasn't, I knew that it was never going to turn into some sort of big thing. It was just something I was doing.
Right.
So when we actually hit the road, it was a natural progression to just record, but it felt weird because when you start looking online, you don't know this area, so you see Changing Lanes. And Changing Lanes was given to us when we were buying the RV. I said, is there any RV like YouTubers? And he goes, yeah, like Changing Lanes. They have a grand design, so you should check them out. So they were like our intro into the space. And then it was like, maybe we just come up with a name and maybe we do this. And we didn't think anybody would watch because all of our other videos had 50 to 100 views. So the only people we're going to watch are kids and family to see our where we're going, what's going to happen.
Right.
And then our first 2 weeks, our first stop was the Tampa RV show. And by the time we got here, we had 1,000 subscribers. And I go, Sheila, this is awesome. And she goes, what's that mean? I said, it's like $25. It's like a little bit of diesel, like a quarter of a tank.
Yeah.
And we got here and we had one person recognize us. And I was like, I can't believe they even know who we are. And then here we are, community developed from that part.
Right. That's awesome. Was there anything in that first year that really stands out to you guys, either from the YouTube channel perspective or just general travel?
Well, we were fast and furious at that point. Like
Right.
we were with the thought that we were only going to be out for a year. We were just out to see all the things, like just hurry, quickly, go. So we were
Sure.
moving every 3 to 5 days. It was a fast pace. I think we put about 36,000 miles on that first year.
And the YouTube channel was faster paced too back then, wasn't it?
Well, the thing is, I'm a strategic type person. So there's an airplane.
Your
Or a
helicopter's here,
helicopter.
Todd. I'm sorry.
And I'm not flying an airplane at this show this year. Let's put that on the record. When we hit the road, I love Chad and Tara, and I saw that they had done like 400 videos. And I was like, well, if you're going to do videos, we'll do 3 a week because it's like casting a big net for
Right.
people to find you. So we had done 148 videos that first year. And so we were moving at a very fast pace. But the thing that really stood out was when she used to be an event planner at her church, she's like, why don't we meet people and do this? And we scheduled our first event at the fall of that year.
Very cool. So at what point during the YouTube journey and traveling and all those things, obviously we know that through the videos, everybody sees the destinations and all
Yep.
of that stuff. But at what point did you start to notice this community aspect that you guys have now built into this huge thing? But where did that start from?
I think that started for us as he's editing and doing 3 videos a week, right? And so I'm trying to keep up with the comments, and you start to realize that the same people are watching your channel
Sure.
and commenting, and so you start to make those connections, and you realize every like or every view or every comment, there's a person behind that, and you kind of start making that connection that this username is this person. You try to start making those connections with those people. And I was like, okay, we're starting to get to know these people digitally. What if we moved and tried to do like a camping event where we move those people from digital into person? And once we did that, we got to meet those faces, and we realized the impact of bringing people together, and they were started to make friendships, and they found people that they wanted to camp with. Like, okay, there's something here that we really want to focus on. And that's when we did our very first event in November of that very first year, and that just kind of changed the trajectory of what we were going to focus on.
Yeah, we started the huddles. So our first huddle was at Tolona Ridge, who are here at the show, actually. and we were the very first people there as a group. So
They
if you
weren't
go to
even
Tolona-
finished yet.
Yeah,
I mean, the park was not done.
yeah. If you go to Tolona Ridge at the top, up by the clubhouse, they got a plaque on a rock, which is super cool to say.
That is cool.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's what changed everything.
Yeah, it was
honestly.
a turning point for
And
us.
we've been to a huddle, and we thoroughly enjoyed ourselves and can speak first-handedly, the community that was involved and how much fun we had and how much heart and soul you guys are putting into that event. It's not just a pay a ticket, show up thing. You guys hustled. You created such an environment, and we can't thank you enough. It was fantastic.
No, I don't think we've ever had a chance to thank you because you supported us from the beginning. You saw it from the beginning. You showed up, and I don't know. I just feel like we're a huge community, just as RV YouTubers, and then everyone. So we should do things
We should.
together,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's
Well, and it was our introduction to y'all, even
Yeah.
though I almost took you out on the scooter because we were running late.
it was pretty good.
But we got to meet Jason and Delynn. We got
Yeah.
to meet Howard and
Cindy.
And so it opened up our eyes to kind of not just more people on the road, but creators. And it's almost like that misery loves company. And we all are kind of, when you get into YouTube, you're kind of ultimately glutton for punishment a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's always that person. We know that. But we still enjoy it enough that we want to press through that. So did you plan most of that huddle and you're along for the ride, or how, because of your event management background?
We're both have our strengths.
Right.
And she was an event planner for thousands of people.
Yeah.
So
Something we really feel like this YouTube journey has now married our passions. Todd is passionate about sharing the story and the whole capturing the moments and sharing that with people, and I'm passionate about bringing those people together. And so I started planning those huddles, and then we got some help with somebody that used to work on my team, on our team at church, and we just kind of kept moving those things forward, and they just grew legs. It just took off.
Did you at any point after that first huddle go, what have I gotten myself into? Or was it just like falling back into old shoes kind of a thing?
It was, we left and we're like, okay, we're exhausted, but oh my gosh, that was fun. And look
Yeah.
at the friendships that we have created. Like, we would have never have met you guys
Sure.
without
Yeah.
that, right?
Right.
And get to, other than just a hi and a goodbye. So
Right.
that's just super special to be able to spend more time with people,
Yeah.
eat dinner together, hang out, do something fun, and
Yeah.
create those memories.
And now we're friends with probably going to be the #1 podcast ever. Who
That's
knew?
right.
Like,
That's
see
right.
how that worked?
We have some work to still get up there with
Okay,
Jason and
well, you're
Abby,
close,
but
you're
we're
close.
working on it. We're working on it. Labor of love, just like YouTube channel and anything else, right?
Right.
So fast forward a little bit, let's just say a few months ago, what's changed between huddles and the switch crew, as you now call it? I think you were just starting to call it that back when we were at the Texas huddle. How is a huddle different now than it was back then?
Oh, there's so much happening. Okay, do you want to go over like crew campouts and all the things?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. As the
I do
commu-
like how you ask for permission on that,
No,
by the way.
because we're trying to put it in context, because there is so much for somebody that's listening to try to wrap their head around
Sure.
this, because it's big.
It is.
So huddles are events that are 200 to 300 people. A huddle is not a rally in essence because we go do things together. Example, Tampa last year, we rented out a whole dinner cruise and took 200 and some people on a 70s night. We all dressed in 70s gear and we did a dinner cruise together. We've taken them white water rafting. We've done zip lining. So we go do things because, and we cater meals and we eat together because it's important. Now, from that, Sheila's like, we need to do smaller events, and so she come up with another idea.
Yeah, so the whole thought that we can do something smaller and empower the people, empower the crew. So the crew now host crew campouts all around the United States for just a smaller group of people just to meet up and hang out in a campground somewhere together. It's not something that Todd and I swing by if we're in the area, but there's, I think, 24 of those planned so far for the year, and we just have crew camp hosts. But something that I think is unique to our community is after you've attended one of our events live, we invite you into a digital Zoom community where they continue to meet weekly on a Zoom call where they continue to those relationships and building that friendship and stay in contact with each other, and then they can meet up all over the United States. So that's pretty special what the crew is building together without
Behind
us.
the scenes.
Right.
And that's true. We still have people come up to us and say, we met you at the huddle.
Yeah.
And, you know, we recognize them too. So that really does stick.
It's actually happened about 5 times today.
That's
Really?
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It's
They come
really
up like,
cool.
oh, we hung out with you at the Texas huddle. We're like,
Oh, wow.
I barely remember yesterday's lunch, but
I know.
okay. Thank you. That's
pretty cool.
awesome.
But that's fun, right?
Yeah,
It's
no, it
fun.
is.
Yeah.
Well, because then at that point you can start reminiscing, and then it's almost like, again, I kind of use the term sliding back into old shoes.
Right.
It's, you can, oh, you remember when we did this, that,
Yes.
whatever it was, and now it's a catalyst for more conversation and
Right.
new things. So,
Yeah.
so what is the future for the Switch crew and on the huddle side? Let's start with that, because obviously you guys have announced a lot this week.
Yes.
So let's leave
We've
that off
shook
to the
things
side
up,
for
yeah.
a minute. But as far as the crew campouts, the huddles, what's that look like going into 2024?
So this year we have 3 huddles. We're hoping for a NASCAR event. We are going to be at the Balloon Festival and the Hershey, Pennsylvania show. Am I missing something? Those are the big nuggets, right?
Okay.
And then from there, we have the 24, soon to be more, crew campouts.
Yes. As far as huddles, we're hoping to be able to, space has always been an issue for
Sure.
us. As we grow, we want to be able to, we're always looking for, not all RV parks can have an event center in the middle, right? Where you can
Right.
hang out, where you can have your meals and stuff together. So we're trying to figure out how can we do a huddle or event gatherings where space isn't an issue. Maybe we can go to fairgrounds or big boondocking, open land, BLM land, that sort of thing. So we just had to kind of think through how can that look differently, and to be able to make them, make that a little bit more affordable for everybody, that it's not at some RV resort. Give options for different people on different budgets.
Gotcha. Okay. So now we're going to talk about it.
The
Because
elephant in the room is what we've been calling it.
I'm excited
like,
for
But it's
this.
really like 6 elephants lined up in a
Pretty
room.
big.
It's like a parade.
43,000 pounds of
But to
elephants.
say, I walked past you earlier, chatting with some people because I was on my way back here from a meeting, and I just for the fun of it, felt like to stick my nose in.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that big, really, if you just kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
not really that. It's
Yeah.
not.
Size is all an object.
Yes.
Whatever
So
makes you feel better.
how does, let's just talk about it. So you have purchased an HDT truck
Yes.
and a spacecraft. No, it's not. What's the term?
Spacecraft?
Spacecraft. Okay,
we
I
built
was
a
right.
Yeah, we
I've
built
been
a spacecraft.
saying it wrong this entire time, and she's been correcting me. So I keep getting the name of it wrong. But
It's their terminology was crafting your space, so therefore spacecraft.
there you go. So if you don't mind, because this is an audio podcast and we're not over there showing it off, can you just talk about what it is essentially?
And how
It
we
was-
got to that point, yeah.
Yeah.
When I was talking about the huddles and where space was becoming an issue,
Right.
this was our idea and our solution for that. Like, how can we do events outside of an event space? Well, we would need things like a sound system and decks for speakers or musicians and an LED wall. And how can we put all that together, and who can do that for us? And actually, SpaceCraft was the one that said, hey, let's see how we can work together to make something that would work for you.
Right.
And so that was born last year before the Tampa RV show.
Wow. So you've been working over a year on this thing.
This has been the highest and lowest that we've had. And it's the biggest dream that we could throw out there, knowing there was no way we could afford it.
Yeah.
And it is a blessing. God opened up some amazing doors.
Yep. And those, when you know that you have this idea and this dream, and then you see how brands like SpaceCraft and other brands will come alongside of you and say, hey, we believe in the vision and mission of what you're doing inside the community. We want to partner with you and make this happen.
Right.
That's just how we got to where we're at. And we are unbelievably blessed and so grateful.
So not only is your RV/home now,
Yes.
it's now your RV/home/ Switch crew headquarters, official event center, all of that.
All
Yeah.
of that. Office, head, event space. Yes.
All of the above.
All of the above.
So, because you guys actually added an LED wall, was that just so that you could essentially film things and then put it up there? Or is that more so just like if you have something you wanted to watch, like let's say the Super Bowl happened to be on and now you're having a huddle? Or,
Chiefs.
Go cheese.
Go cheese.
So here's the thing.
And my
is this
Packers are still alive, so take it easy over there.
All right.
Well,
all right.
let's look at, like, we went to the Grand Design Rally and we're sitting around
Right.
and there's LED walls everywhere and people talking and this and that. I was like, could we, because the spacecraft is built on, well, I guess for the people listening, let's give some statistics.
Sure.
It is basically a semi-chassis. Now, spacecraft can build anywhere from like 38 foot to 57 foot long, and they've been around 40 plus years.
Wow.
They've done a lot of stuff for the carnival industry, circus industry, because they use those to do events while they're on the road.
Right.
So that's their history. But they also do, like they just did Will Smith's trailer for his makeup trailer and stuff. So they do stuff for Hollywood. So if you are wanting to do something completely custom, there's very few places you could turn. So they can go 38 feet all the way up to the 57 foot. So in price, anywhere is from, I don't know, $7,000 to $10,000. But we are
foot.
a foot. So we are 54 feet long. Mm-hmm. We're 43,260 pounds dry. It's 12,000 pounds on the pin weight for all you techies that are out there.
Yikes.
Wow.
We have 3 decks. There's a deck on the front, a deck on the back, and a deck off the side. There is an LED wall that is on the front of it, and it pivots out because the spacecraft on the semi-chassis has a flat face.
Right.
So we constructed that so it would pivot out. But it can also pivot out all the way so we could actually see it on a deck. But the idea is for our events that if whatever we wanted to put on there, we could use it for that. And then on top of it, we have 2 concert speakers, big subwoofer, but that's for our entertainment that we might have come in. Or let's say people are going to speak or they're going to give, I don't know, at rallies and stuff, they have speakers come up and talk about their products. So it was designed with all of that in mind for 300 to 400 people sitting out and seeing it all.
Maybe a live podcast at a huddle?
That sounds like a great idea.
You could sit up on top. Like,
Yeah, that'd
No,
be
we
fun.
have a fear of heights over here because the mass goes quicker. I mean, I know how gravity
it's
works,
8 foot
but
by 12 foot deck. It's bigger than this tent. You could probably put the tent up there.
I tripped going right over there the other
Okay,
day.
well, that's good. You could sit on the side patio.
I'll be fine on the
There you
ground.
go.
Thank
That's
you.
more like it.
Side patio.
Even that's a little questionable sometimes.
I
No,
didn't
just
buy
kidding.
the good health insurance. Let's keep him down.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm underinsured is what I just heard. So as far as that goes, is it a mission to use that every time, or is it a combination of the facilities you use and that rig being a supplemental thing too?
I think it's more on the supplemental side. It gives us
Okay.
options, right? If we can't find the space, especially when you go out west, there's just, a lot of vast open space and not as many RV parks with event space. So it just gives us options for in-betweens.
So do you guys ever make like silent bets to each other, like how many people can we get in a random like BLM land and try that and see
Wouldn't
if you
that
can?
be fun?
We have some special things planned.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Big things.
In fact, the
I'm not shocked by the big thing anymore, by the way.
No.
The RV Revolution is our 10-episode documentary on how this whole spacecraft came to be and the filming of the creation of how you even build such a thing. And we're going to end that with a rally
Very cool.
in Arizona desert area together. So we've got some thoughts and plans on
Very
utilizing that out in the middle of nowhere.
Can people already sign up for that, or is it not yet?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yep,
so we'll
yep.
make sure and put that in the description for YouTube and in the show notes on all of the podcast apps out there. So
We
if you're
appreciate
interested
that.
in joining them, we will make sure and put that down below. So you guys, I mean, because I'm seeing dual brands now with the RV Revolution and Switch It Up, is it an extension of? Is it a transformation? Is it a own individual thing? Is it going to continue past that documentary?
Well, here, go ahead. You got this too, because
Go ahead.
we're kind of like in different. We kind of when we hatch this idea, Switch It Up is not going away. I think that was one of the things that some of the people that are watching from the outside, it's still going to be the same. The problem is when you do something like this, like a 10-episode series, it does get confusing. So we thought we'd try something different. Switch it up.
We
I
added
mean,
a podcast. We understand
Yeah.
that
So-
to our main channel. So
RVRevolution.tv is basically the introduction to the 10-episode series.
Sure.
And we have it so people could pay to watch, but they're going to receive perks. Now, the problem on YouTube, which you probably run into, if you try to do a giveaway, the minute you do the giveaway, you get people spamming.
Sure.
So you get, hey, do this stock market thing or so-and-so. And so to protect the what is it, 13 plus sponsors that we have. And the trust, we decided that we would go ahead and put it behind a paywall. And then what they can do in return is on Tuesdays when we launch every episode, anyone that's in the RVRevolution.tv scenario, they can be entered into those, and we don't have to worry about the other stuff, the influence. So now we have the trust of the people that are watching, that they don't have to be spammed.
Right.
They get the benefit of thousands of dollars of perks each week, and it's going to seem like a good balance. But nobody's done this before. So when you do something that nobody's done, there's going to be people that don't like the idea, and we totally understand it. But then again, if you don't try it, then you don't know really how it's going to turn out.
But we do see this going beyond, kind of like, there's Millers in Motion and you have RV Shenanigans,
Yes.
right? Like this is just an extension of
Right.
Switch It Up, and it's gonna has its own little flavor, but we'll have both.
Gotcha. Okay. So about the rig itself, did you want the HDT first, or did you want the rig and you had to get the HDT? Because I know that kind of... It's a chicken or egg conversation,
It
right?
is.
We started off just with thinking that the HDT would allow us to get the toys out of the toy hauler
Okay.
that we currently have.
Because I'm not going to lie, every time I saw Todd look at an HDT, he got a little sparkle in his eye.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I did.
And I enjoyed the thought of getting the toys out of the back, getting the dirt out of the rig.
Well, and you guys had a lot of stuff back there. It was pretty
Oh, my
jammed, wasn't
goodness.
That's ridiculous,
Okay.
actually.
Yeah, we had the motorcycle, washer and dryer, 2 kayaks, 2 e-bikes, a scooter, a one wheel,
Grill.
it? Todd when he's in trouble.
the grill. There was no room to put Todd when he was
Yeah,
in
there
trouble.
was no room for me back then.
Hey, no doghouse means... No, never mind.
Yeah.
You can push the limits further.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So the truck came first,
The
essentially?
idea of the truck was we could always pull our current RV with that truck.
So, and the truck is not very expensive. I think that's the
That's a misconception.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you see those things and you think of a brand new...
Right.
What brand is yours? I don't even know. I'm sorry.
have a MACK.
It's a MACK. Okay. So you think of a brand new MACK or a Volvo or whatever, and you instantly assume they're hundreds of thousands of dollars, which, I mean, they can be.
Absolutely brand new, but
Right.
those things are built to be on the road for a really long
Sure.
time. And as RVers, we're not going to put the miles on it that an over-the-road trucker does.
Well, most RVers, you guys first year.
We did a lot, but still not what a professional truck
Right,
driver
sure.
does. And so, yeah, we spent $65,000 on that truck, and that's
Wow.
I mean,
A
that's
steal.
That's a pretty good deal.
I think what people need to keep in mind, like we found Jesse by accident, actually, as we were trying to. It was another God opened a door scenario. Like, if we got this, who would even fix it for us? And we made the relationship with him, which was great. But let's put it in perspective for a listener, because we didn't understand this. If you buy a truck for $40,000 to $60,000, which is pretty common, you have to modify it to your mission profile, things that you might want to have on it, a smart car, motorcycle, whatever. That can cost anywhere from $35,000 to $80,000, $100,000.
Yeah, depending on how much stuff you want
Right.
to do to it.
Now, but if you go on a lot of the Facebook websites for used, you can find one already modified for a smart car and get the whole thing for $90,000.
Okay.
And think you're buying 450s out there for $140,000.
I was
right
going
now.
to say, I mean, if you went and got a 450 Platinum right now, I believe they're retailing somewhere in the 120-ish range.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, so this is really a much more economical option, and that blew my mind. And
Right.
you feel safer because you can stop faster. Like, there is just some very huge perks to that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So with all that being said now, is the truck officially done, or is there anything left to do with the truck?
Yeah, I think Jesse has his website's haulhaulers.com, by the way, if you're looking for somebody to modify something, because there's very few people across the United States that do it.
Sure.
But I think he has about 2 weeks, and an average modification on a truck build is probably going to be 3 months.
Yeah, so he hopes to have that finished up by the end of January, and then we're going to come back down here, pick it up, and take it up to paint so that the paint will match the truck and the RV will match together.
Yep.
Helps if I don't mute myself.
Yep, that one.
So you are going to actually paint it, and you're having people vote on that, if I recall.
I was
right?
going to
Yes.
say, I remember seeing an option when I looked at it the other day.
Yeah, there's 3 options. They were just getting people's opinions. They're helping us figure out one. Somebody helped me really scratch out the left one because they said, hey, that looks like a Philadelphia Eagles helmet design. I'm like, oh,
Nope.
out.
It's
out.
done.
It's over.
We already have Packer colors for the most part, so I'm good with really anything.
You know, I was born in Green Bay, right?
Were you really?
Yep.
No, I did not know that.
I grew up, my family is on O'Connell Falls, which is north of there, 30 miles.
So are you a Chiefs fan too?
Yeah, I am. Well, I'm not, truth be told, I watch some football, but I don't live and die by football.
Really?
Yeah.
But you do
I was
more.
going to say
She does.
She
She does fantasy football. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy.
So the truck is kind of in line. Now, did you actually order the RV simultaneously with the truck, or was that? How did that all play
Yeah,
out?
how's the timing on
This
that?
is crazy. So when you watch the documentary,
Oh,
because you
okay.
will,
Yeah. Yes.
because you are going to be blown away on how this worked. But we actually put down the deposit. I don't even know how we did this. We put down the deposit. Sheila's like, let's just design it, because there's a design phase, and just see what it's going to look like.
For the RV, right?
Now, and then it went, what are we going to do? How are we going to pull it? And we went after last year's Tampa show, we went to Margaritaville, which you guys will be there soon.
We were there last week.
Yeah. And so we were at Margaritaville, and we ran into the mayor. Everyone knows Rob.
Yep.
And Rob's like, come go on a drive with us. So we're driving in his truck, and I'm driving it, learning about it.
That's terrifying.
And he goes, hey, I got somebody you need to meet. He didn't know what we were doing. And he literally drives up to Jesse, and we get out and we meet Jesse. And we get back in, and I'm like, did God just give us somebody to fix this thing? Like, that was the weirdest
But we hadn't
coincidence.
picked out a truck yet. Like,
Yeah.
that was something we were just, all the wheels were turning, and
It's
we were
weird.
thinking
That's cool.
all the things that we would need to do if we were going to go this direction.
Yeah. So that's how that worked.
Yeah, that's awesome. We said when we were thinking about going full time, just to reinforce the God opens and closes doors
Yes.
thing. We were big on when we were getting ready to full time, and we had a ranch and all that stuff. And you guys kind of know the basics of our
Yep.
story. And we kind of said, well, we'll just keep going through doors and we'll see how it goes. And sometimes when you do this in life, maybe with previous things, it's amazing how fast some of those come back in your face, right?
Right.
And you just have to acknowledge them and go, cool, not that one.
You're right.
And just be, present enough to know that it slammed in your face and not blow through it.
Yeah, that was the other thing, was that when doors open, that you do in fact walk through them.
Right.
That
Right.
you don't see that and then back away.
Right.
And so it was when the doors open, we do say yes, even if it's uncomfortable, to walk through those.
Yeah,
But-
we're scared.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to listen to this and think, oh, they got it figured out. No, we're scared to death. We're scared of the opinions. We're scared of where it's going to go. We're scared of, but we also feel like the doors have opened, and we feel like the impact can be huge.
Sure.
Just the RV industry and the RV community itself.
So when is the rig officially all components done and keys in hand, and there goes everything on the
well,
table?
what's the goal? Let's rephrase that.
Okay.
What's the projected?
You
Oh, yeah.
know how construction works.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
is the same way. The goal is hopefully from paint, we will actually take this possession by the end of February, 1st of part of March.
Okay. And that's from them there, because they're in Kansas, right?
Yes.
Well, Missouri. They're in Concordia,
Missouri,
Missouri.
sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it's going up to CDI is a sponsor for us for doing paint. So it'll go up to the paint factory there, and then we'll hopefully take it by the end of February.
Okay.
And then everyone's like, well, what are you driving? Are you getting a Jeep? We
Oh, for
actually
your-
now have a brand new sponsor with Bronco Nation. So we actually are proud owners of Broncos. And we are excited because they have these things called off-rodeos, Bronco off-rodeos, where they teach you how to go off-road, and anyone can go to them. So we're going to do a crew camp out and bring a bunch of people to drive Broncos off-road. There's going to be so many exciting things this year that when we tell people, it's like, you don't understand. Just join the Revolution thing, because you don't know what they're getting ready to allow us all to do. It's going to be absolutely insane.
Well, we were talking probably about 3 to 4 weeks ago, and
Yeah.
you were teasing some stuff. And
I
like,
was.
It's big. And it's even as big as the coach and everything else is, it's really, that's just a drop in the hat
Yeah.
compared to what's really going on for
Yeah.
2024 and past.
That's really just a tool for the mission.
Right.
That's it. It's just a tool to move the mission forward.
Yeah. So I do have a couple of questions about the
Okay.
coach itself. So are you concerned about campgrounds, or because I mean, how long are you when you're completely hooked up?
Completely hooked up. We are 77 feet, so like 12 or 13 feet longer than we currently are.
See, we're not that long.
That's a big difference.
Here's the thing. I've never towed anything this big. I've never drove anything this big. So the YouTube content alone of me running over mailboxes and
Your
or
own, of
Sheila's
course,
like,
so it's not a felony,
I can
but-
see it now. We're going to be like going into an RV spot, and she's going to have the spot picked, and she goes in and checks in, and we're driving, and we get to a corner. I'm like, I can't make this corner.
Yes.
And now we're stuck. This is the fear, right? So buckle up, because the YouTube content is going to be absolutely crazy. About middle of March, oh man, I can't even imagine what we're in
Are
for.
they even going to believe you when you call in to make a
listen
reservation?
listen to what happens to Sheila. This is
That's
good.
typically what, like, I've been calling and making reservations,
Yes.
and when they say, well, how long is your RV? Just, your RV. And I'll say, well, the RV is 54 feet. And they're like, no, honey.
Yeah.
What I mean is how without your vehicle. And I'm like, no.
54 feet.
that's 54
It's 54 feet.
Or actually, if you want the whole thing.
Right.
So do you have like kind of some pre-done ideas when you're not huddling essentially, or you're not somewhere to
I'm
kind
pretty
of
much done with this year. Like, I have this year, January to January.
Yeah.
It's booked. It's planned out. We're good to go.
Do you feel a little more pressure now to like really plan far out simply because of that size?
Absolutely, and there's
Okay.
not as many places, and I have to do a lot more Google Earthing of, okay,
Right.
can we make this corner, that sort of thing.
Yeah, we're going to really share with people what this is like. So
Right.
if they ever wanted to do it, they'll have a kind of a guide
Sure.
in a way, because they're either going to see us mess up or learn differences.
Probably both.
I was about
Yeah.
to say,
Yeah,
it
it'll be
depends
both
on the
and.
week.
Right.
One week, like, this is genius, I'm doing it. The next week, never mind.
I'm just so happy not to have leaf springs.
That's true.
I mean, Mow-Ride, that would have been the first thing we would have done, is changed. Now that we know, after losing leaf springs like 4 times
You
and
do
almost.
know you don't have to buy a custom rig in order to get
I know,
the
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm just
Mow-Ride,
checking.
like we did a
It's too
video
late
on
now,
that. Yeah, like I would do leaf spring or Mow-Ride independent, like out of the box. Period. You did
Yeah,
that.
we did that.
We did
And
that.
I
Smart.
don't.
You're
I'm
smart.
so tired of leaf springs.
Man, I'll tell you too. So does the new coach have that, or is it its own
all air.
system? Because
Just
Air.
think
yeah,
of like
okay.
a semi chassis, right?
So I can tell you, have you driven a coach with the independence, like a normal coach, not your
No.
semi
No.
thing? Okay. I'll tell you, going from the rig that you saw us in Texas to
Yeah.
the current one, it is longer, heavier, all those things. And I hardly can tell it's even back there anymore.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's
so
awesome.
trust me, it was I told her, I said, as soon as we take this thing, we are immediately going over there. And
Yeah.
we put all of about 4.5 miles on our leaf springs.
Jeez.
And they
That's
came
good.
off. So, oh, hey, now it's really raining. All right. So, what our travel day is going to look like now with the new rig?
Well, since we have this new Bronco, the thing is that I am scared to drive because I don't know what to expect being 77 feet. So Sheila has not really driven for the last 3 years. And so with the Bronco gives her the opportunity to do that. But I'm looking at her as a pilot car scenario where I can be in like Atlanta, Georgia, which is horrible. She can be behind me, move over to a lane, clear the lane so I can make changes.
That's smart.
So we only drive that probably 3 to 5 hours a day anyway.
Okay.
And we're together 24/7, and she hates my driving. So this could be like a win-win for a season. Yeah,
That's
No-
definitely a
say
video
no
in the
comment
making.
over
Oh
there?
my goodness.
yeah, it's truth.
It'll be a good little break time.
RV life, baby.
Just
I
need a
mean, there's
minute,
women out there right now going, I know, that guy.
I'm pretty sure Lauren only goes on runs for a little moment of silence. So.
That's the truth.
And I'm not running. So, okay, guys. So, what are some of the goals for the whole thing? Like, we're talking big 10-year plans. Like, is it just to keep growing, or are we looking at a hot air balloon at the balloon fiesta, the big green and white thing?
I think the biggest thing really is just we take 1 year, 1 day at a time, and we do what we feel like we're led to do.
Yep.
And that's all we can do.
That's a great answer. I love it.
We've been on the road 3 years, and it's hard to believe that this is our 4th show. And man, I mean, think about it. That first year, 1,000 subs, 1 person recognizes. Now we're sitting there in a SpaceCraft booth, starting over. It's like the journey starts over.
Right.
Like hooking up for the first time, driving for the first time, the fears of everything that we had the first time. We're starting over, but this time we're doing it with thousands of people in the Switch Crew. And Switch Crew is just not like, I don't want to say that it's not independent. It's all of us.
Right.
Like, you know, if you guys, we had a big event and you brought all of your community to it, we're all together.
Right.
We just gave an identity to those that are following us real close. And that's why the RV Revolution is a little more neutral, and it allows all of us to participate and to do something. Yes.
That's awesome. So I do have one listener question. Are you guys up for that?
Absolutely.
me.
Fire away. Fire away.
And I have a question too
Oh,
to
go
add
ahead.
to all that. So I'll take the first Q&A. Did you have to get a special license to drive
yeah.
something different?
Currently,
that.
I have a non-commercial CDL license
Okay.
in the state of Kansas. So we are looking, we have a month now to figure out and go through that specifically, because there's a lot of questions that come into play. It will not have any logos. It is going to be our home. We do call it like an event trailer because nobody can wrap their head around what it is. Simply, it's just our home. And we have a deck on top that we can sit in the balloon fiesta and watch things happen or sit under the stars. There's a lot of perks that we can use this thing for, but it really is, nobody's done anything, so it's hard to describe to people. So we just started using descriptive words to try to figure out how to relay the message.
Just shorten the answer as much as you possibly
Yeah.
can.
But every state has different licensing requirements, so everybody just needs to check whatever, like in the state of Kansas, what is required is different than what is required in the state of Pennsylvania, right?
Right.
So you have to just dig in and see what you would need in your state.
As is full-time RV life, just due diligence across the board.
Absolutely.
So have you seen the video at this last year's Balloon Fiesta of the balloon hitting the top/side of the RV?
Yes.
Do you have concerns?
No.
I think we're just going to
Okay.
catch a ride. Like, we'll just hang on.
Oh, there
If
you go.
If they hit us, we'll just...
So it's like a sport. Just stand up on that deck, maybe try to like basketball it or
Yeah.
something.
When you watch the
Extreme hot air ballooning.
yeah, that is funny.
We are not encouraging this.
But it would be entertaining.
When you watch the documentary and how the spacecraft's made, it's ridiculous. Like the whole roof is made out of like thick fiberglass.
Yeah.
I was like, will I ever have to worry about hail? And he started laughing. He goes, no, we've had them in baseball size hail.
Oh.
He goes, they'll knock off all the air conditioners and you'll have all that. But
But the structure is fine.
yeah, it's,
So I guess we can be hit by a hot air balloon. Is that what you're
I
trying
don't,
to say?
I'm thinking
Okay, I
that
was about to say, let me reframe the question.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
concerned about hurting a hot air balloon?
maybe.
Okay.
That could be a thing.
Okay.
It's a different
They might
question.
take the lights out on
That-
top, like the
well,
string lights.
It could be. Yeah, you don't know.
I just framed the question wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
realize
you're
I was
fine,
dealing
you're
with
fine.
a tank as an RV.
It's crazy to
It's
see how
solid.
it's made.
Okay.
Solid.
Okay, so back to our listener question. They did not leave their name, and I know you've been fielding this one all day, and you
Yeah.
know that I'm not going to shy away from it, minus give you a little bit of a heads up, which I did. So are you worried in any capacity that you may lose some viewers with the new coach?
We know we're going to lose some viewers with a new coach, but it doesn't worry me because when you know why you're doing it, and you know your heart, and you know the mission and the impact that you're trying to make, that comes before everything else.
Yeah.
So what we're about and what we're trying to do is more important than somebody's opinion.
Right.
And here's the thing. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Absolutely.
And I actually appreciate that when they say, I don't understand this, or it's too big, or this and that. It's only because until they see what's happening, until they see the full scope of how we even pulled this off and the sponsor stepping up, they're entitled to have this idea of like, well, I'm not going to follow because of this. But then on the flip side, they're like, keep going. This is awesome. And then all the people. So people will need a time to adjust. And I understand that.
Sure.
To see what's going to happen next. But I don't think we're super worried on that.
There's
I mean,
probably a lot of
it's some fearful.
fear and ignorance that's portrayed onto you because
Yeah.
of their own right
when
now.
you do something new, when you're a pioneer in a space and you want to try something that's just different, we're gonna take the shots, and that's okay because we know our heart, we know our mission, and we're very focused on that.
God's got it.
There you go. And that is the perfect ending right there because that sums it all up.
Yes, absolutely.
So thank you guys so much for joining us on the podcast. Best of luck towing that, Todd. Sheila, trying your hardest not to kill him.
I will film. while he's
She'll be in the Bronco in the back going, "Oh no, this is going to be a good one."
I can't wait for the commentary from her as you're driving.
She does that a lot.
Yeah.
There may be more of it now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well,
Thanks for having us.
Congratulations
Yeah,
on
it's a
the new rig.
Thank you so much.
We love it. And we got a little added bonus because Jason is here, and we love Jason too. So we've gotten
Jason,
to hang out.
just so a little side note, Jason is editing for and he has his channel, Our Not So Perfect Life, but he is editing for the documentary because you got to know your limitations,
Sure.
and the dude's skillful. So the whole documentary it's highs, lows, emotions, and I feel like it's really something that nobody's done before. So
Right.
I thank him because of the time and energy. It's been blessing.
So I'm sorry, I'm going to go a little bit. Who shot most of it? Is it just kind of the vlog style stuff you did, or was it done differently?
We did it completely different. It's a concept. Sheila's like, okay, I need to know this and that. Well, kind of like you shoot the podcast.
Right.
You don't script anything. So it's kind of in my head. And then she's like, write something down. And then she writes. I write down the general outline. And then we came up with a concept of how it's shot in a structure where people don't get all the vloggy shakiness all the time. But it does flash back and forth, and it is a story. Jason's taken that and crafted it into a story. It really, the first episode's out, it's free. So go RV Revolution, episode 1, and the way he's done it is amazing. I'm telling you, it's
very
different.
blessed
It's
in more
Netflix
ways.
worthy.
Yes.
In my
Netflix
opinion.
worthy.
I
Well,
think so.
Maybe that's next.
Well, for anybody who doesn't know, Jason is phenomenal. He is highly skilled,
Yes.
and I agree. Y'all are very lucky to have him.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
I'm just watching him, seeing if he's going to react to any of this.
No.
And he's
He's
our
trying
friend.
not to.
That helps too,
He's,
right?
he's sitting on a magazine so his tush doesn't get wet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we
he's
met
probably
him
in
because
frame.
of a huddle,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's all came together, woven all together. It's like somebody had a hand in all of it.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome, guys. Thank you again so much. And we just want to say one more big thank you to Alliance RV for allowing us to set up at the 2024 Florida RV Supershow. We still have more episodes to come in the future weeks, so make sure and check those out. Todd, Sheila, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Go
Yeah.
switchitupusa.com.
It's GoSwitchItUp.com.
I got close.
You were close. I mean, we
You
want
are
to
in
go
the
global
US.
at some time.
There you go.
There you go.
So you're going to ship it to the UK? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Could you imagine driving that over
But
there?
we have an idea for over there if you guys would like to come.
I love anything.
Okay,
going.
now we're going long, but this is a shot. So over in the UK, they have these boats. They're like
Long
long
boats.
Yes.
The canals.
And we
Yes.
want to do that with a bunch of us, and then we take those and go down and stop, and we shoot. We hang out. We do videos.
I'm in if he's not driving.
No, you drive your own boat.
I was
Even
going to
better.
say, I'm in
We
as long
all
as we have our own boats.
I just want to
And
be
we do like our
behind
own
him.
caravan. Yeah. We'll do
I don't
a
want to
boat
be in
caravan.
front. Even if we don't, at 2024, even if it's just the four of us and then Jason and Delin,
Yeah.
we're in.
Okay,
That sounds great.
sounds good.
That sounds fun.
That's a longer stretch than I was
I
going
know,
for.
it's
So.
so far.
Okay.
All right, for real
for the
this time.
third time.
For real.
Sorry.
That's okay. Squirrel.
Big vision, big
Squirrel.
goals.
For the third time, thank you to Alliance RV for having us out. Make sure and stay tuned for the next upcoming episodes. We have a handful more guests coming. Todd, Sheila, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great week, everybody.